All right, welcome to the last lesson of the first module of the Strumming Doctor. This is where everything we've been working on is going to come together, and we're going to start to get more musical with the technique and the timing stuff we've been working on. The main idea here is to add the challenge of switching chords to all the other challenges we've been separating so far, namely strumming technique and timing. And that's going to require a little bit of extra CPU up here. And the fact that you've already put in so much time, if you've been following along with your technique and your timing, will make it a lot easier to work on changing between chords, because that added challenge sometimes can be enough to put you over the edge into feeling like, oh, I just can't do this. But that's not going to be true for what we're going to do here. Now, if you need help getting the basic guitar skills down for being able to change between open chords smoothly, go to guitarfam.com and go through the Guitar Foundations course. It's free for everyone, and it'll help you get all those basics down. And if you need help with bar chords, the first module of the bar chord masterclass is also free for everyone too. So the idea here is going to be for you to pick a very easy song, or it doesn't have to be a full song. It can be just a chorus, just a verse, or even just a simple chord progression. But pick a song or a progression to work with, so we can add that challenge of chords into changing chords into our strumming. And if you need some ideas for easy songs to work with, go to guitarfam.com and hit the songs tab at the top. That'll take you to a page where all of our song lessons are. And there's a whole section of easy songs. They're just songs with 3, 4, 5 chords in one strumming pattern where you can work the whole thing. And a lot of the progressions that I'm going to be going over in this video come from those songs. So adding in this extra challenge of changing between chords is going to make things more difficult, but the main thing that you want to remember is to keep your strumming hand going no matter what. Like, even if you don't make it to the chord change in time, or even if the chord sounds a little bit sloppy or buzzy, just keep this going. Our focus is going to be on the strumming hand. So a song like, what's a good one? My Girl, something like that. The verse of My Girl, or progression like that, would be just like from a C to an F. And all the strumming patterns we're going to be doing through all the examples in this video are just going to be down strokes or alternating down and up strokes with quarter notes. That's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Downs and ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in a progression like My Girl, there are only 2 chords on the verses, just C's and F's, right? So just put a C on, strum it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, then an F. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can change the downs and ups. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can make this F just as 3-note F if you want to. If that bar chord isn't something you can do yet, that's totally fine. I'll give you some more examples so you can get through this. But the idea is to start that off slow. I think My Girl's like 100 beats per minute or somewhere around there. Start it off slow at like 60, 70 beats per minute. Work on getting those chord changes smooth, all while keeping your strumming hand going with the beat no matter what. Let's go over a few more of these tunes, just a few more of these progressions, so you can have something to work with. And then we'll go through a couple of them starting at lower beats per minute, like 70 or 80, and then working up to the original tempo. Let's say you're doing a song like Stand By Me, and the chords or the progression is just an A, an F sharp minor, a D, and an E, then back to an A. So you just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 measures of A, 2 measures of F sharp minor, measure of D, measure of E, and then 2 measures of A. And again, you can learn all these songs on the website, that's fine. I'm just giving you some examples that are actual music so you can play through these. Another one would be the song Stuck in the Middle, and that's just a D for 4 measures. Then a G for 2 measures, and then a D for 2 measures. So that's a great option for you because there are no bar chords in that one. Another progression that you want to take a look at is, let's say, if it's a progression like the one in Last Kiss, it's just a G major, for one measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then an E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then a C major, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a D major, 1, 2, 3, 4. So one measure of each chord, G, E minor, C, D. And you can use just these, you know, standard open chords if you want. You don't have to do the 4-finger versions of the G and the C that I was using in the E minor. But it's up to you. And the song you choose or the progression you use really doesn't matter. The important thing is, again, that you get a steady beat going, and come hell or high water, your right hand is going to keep going on the beat no matter what happens with your left hand. And it may feel like, man, my chord transitions are just not the greatest yet. That's okay. The important thing is that this train keeps going no matter what. So let's do 70 beats per minute, and let's go with, we'll do 2. We'll go the progression like My Girl, so C to an F, and then the last one we just did G major, E minor, C major, D. So I'm just going to do 2 measures of C and 2 measures of F over and over again. And I'll start out with downstrokes, and then I'll go down and upstrokes too, just to be a little thorough. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now F, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really concentrate on your staying relaxed. 2, 3, 4, and keeping your strumming technique and timing intact as you have to think about that next chord change, right? And once you're feeling comfortable there, you got things going good, you can increase the speed. Or if it's feeling a little bit too much, you might need to ditch the metronome just for a little while until you get this chord change down, and that's okay. Or you can slow down to 60 beats per minute too. Okay, last time, then I'm bump it up to 80. This is exactly the way I would work on this if I was practicing. We'll get into a more efficient practice session in the next video. If you haven't signed up for your complimentary Guitar Fam account, that only way to get access to the practice long sessions is to do that, and they're on the site for you. So here's 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm doing downs and ups here. Staying relaxed. Trying to be as aware of the beat and where it is as I can. Switch to all downs maybe. If this is feeling good, that's awesome. Get ready to bump it up to 90. If it's a little bit challenging, you can always back down to back to 70. Downs and ups. Stay relaxed, keep that rotation in there. Okay, let's go ahead and go up to 90. And go through the same thing. And sometimes it's nice to go out past the tempo of the song you're practicing on, just so you can kind of push things. That's always nice, and then you can come back down to the original tempo, and it feels a lot easier. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if your chord change sounds like this, that's okay. See, my chord change wasn't quite there, but my timing with my strumming hand stayed intact, so the train kept moving. Switch to all downs. Move another part of your body to stay in time. Nod your head or tap your foot. Okay. Okay, you might want to spend longer on each BPM. like at 90 there. You might want to spend another minute or two, but that's for the sake of this video. Let's go ahead and go to 100, which is our target goal for this progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, if you can't make the change quick enough, like if your bar chord is lagging behind, like this, there's nothing wrong with having an open kind of blip strum on open strings, like that. Okay, so that's the way I would walk through that. Let's do one more. Let's go the G, E minor, C, D progression. And let's work our way up to 110 beats per minute. And let's go, so this video isn't an hour long. Let's start at 80 beats per minute. You don't have to, you can start at 7. Actually, let's just go ahead and go down to 70. It's important. So let's keep it slow, just one measure of each chord, and then doing all chord notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G. Okay, I'm going to go up to 80 beats per minute if you're feeling good with that. If not, stick to 70. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure not to stiffen your strumming hand. Keep it loose. And if your chord transitions aren't there, that's okay. The main thing is keep the string going, and your left hand or your fretting hand can jump on the train when it can. Okay, let's do 90. And if it helps, count. Make sure to count the 8 notes in your head or out loud. So 3. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and switch to all downs. That even sounds different, like downs and ups. Okay, 2 more levels, 100 and 110. So here's 100. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do 110. And here we go, I'll turn that up a little bit. Having trouble hearing the click. That's another thing. If you have trouble hearing the click, either play quieter or turn the click up so you can hear it. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chord changes are getting faster. But we're just focusing on keeping our hand going as in time as possible. Okay, so one thing that I will say here, this course is not about changing chords cleanly and smoothly, you know, buzz-free and all that, but that is important. One tip that I will give you here is if you're having trouble with this, just break things down to their simplest components. So only use 2 chords, number 1, and they can be any 2 chords you're familiar with. The main thing is that you throw in the challenge of changing chords while you're strumming. Also, if you have 2 chords, spend some time without the metronome, without even strumming. You know, just strumming once, working on that individual chord change. So if, let's say you're going from that G to that E minor, just work on that individual chord change by itself. And if you're having trouble getting the G on, if you're slow to get that G on, if you're doing like 1 finger at a time, that means you need to stop and concentrate. Don't even try the chord change yet, just try and get the chord to where it's all going on at the same time. Because until you can do that, until you can have that chord, all the fingers in that chord going at the same time, there's no way you're going to be able to keep up with the chord change in time like that. So follow kind of that logic. Get to where you can get the individual chord shapes on by themselves first, all fingers on at the same time, and then work on just 2 chords at a time, switching between them, and then start to introduce the metronome and work on your strumming with them. All right, this may feel pretty simple, and it kind of is in the global aspect of guitar playing, but this is the foundation. This is what you need to work on, because we're going to be dressing this up over the coming modules. We're going to start to get into 8th notes, 16th notes, dynamics, how to dress your strumming up with bass notes and muted strums, all of those things. And if you don't have this down up to this point, then all that other stuff is going to be hard. But if you put in the time and get this down, things are going to be much easier for you because you'll have laid that solid foundation. Okay, I'll see you in the next video where we'll go through a really concise practice session for everything we went over in this lesson. And if you have any questions, just email support@guitarfam.com. And if you're struggling with any one thing in particular, go to guitarfam.com and schedule a personal private one-on-one lesson with me. The first one is complimentary. See you.